everyone, I'm the Kaiju no Kami here at Colorado Anime Fest 2019, and I'm here with
Cruellica and I,
and we are interviewing
Jason Marsden.
Welcome, Jason. For those who might not know who you are, what have you done over the years?
Man, I'm one of those guys that like annoyingly pops up in your nostalgia. I did a lot of sitcoms in the '90s: Boy Meets World, Step by Step, Full House. I was one of DJ's boyfriends, and I do a lot of voiceover too. So you might have heard me in a Goofy movie, or Spirited Away, or if you're a fan of Hocus Pocus, I was Binks the Cat in Hocus Pocus. That's right. This is my voice coming out of this other cat here. Yes, and I'm going to recruit you to save the children from all the witches. Yes. In all sorts of cultures.
So, as a nerd,
I am not.
Oh, well.
How dare you? We just met.
I know, I'm
definitely.
so
I'm a big nerd. I'm a big nerd.
So, Hocus Pocus has always been a fan favorite of mine and many of my friends. My mom and I watched it every year. I don't know what that says about us as people.
That you love Halloween? That you love Halloween?
But you also were in another Halloween-esque series, Munsters Today.
Yes,
and you played Eddie Munster.
That's right.
I love everything Halloween,
yes.
So works perfectly. What was it like playing an iconic character from the 60s and reviving it for a 90s era?
It was outstanding. I mean, it was one of the first like big things I booked when I think it was 12 when I booked the pilot, and I was 13 through 16 when we shot it, and it was great. I was a huge fan of the original. I mean, ours is great. It pales in comparison, but that being said, it got me a good start in the industry. I worked with some amazing people on the Munsters Today. We had a lot of old comedians that your parents would know, and we shot. What I loved about it is I shot on the Universal Studios lot. We did the last 2 seasons on the Universal Studios lot, and back then there was no security. It wasn't a thing, and I lived across the street, so I would ride my bike on Sundays, just hang out at Universal Studios, and where someone's moving stuff off the side, we're like, don't spill it. But they would shoot. They were shooting Back to the Future 2, and Dick Tracy, and I would be on set all the time, just hanging out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you get to do any secret cameos like actors do today?
No, but I love showing something like Back to the Future 2, and it was all the future stuff on the hoverboards, and I'd be like, yeah, you see right off the screen there, that's me. Yeah, right over here, if the camera panned that way, I'd be right there. That's about it.
Oh, that's so awesome. You get not only just great timing with television shows, you also get to tell us about movies.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
See? Oh, the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So being that you did start young, what challenges did you face being a child actor growing up into adulthood? And what advice could you even give kids today? They're like, well, I want to be an actor, but I don't know how it's going to work because I'm afraid of getting bullied.
Okay, the biggest challenge growing up is puberty. I mean, that's any sort of, whether you're an actor or not. That was a joke, and I killed the room with that joke. Seriously, I mean, if you want to be, if you're interested in acting and you're a child, you got to make sure you love it, and you got to make sure you have people who are taking care of you through that. Make sure, usually a parent, a stage parent, and make sure they're guiding you the right way. It's got to be fun because 90% of it is rejection. You have to be okay. I mean, bullies. Heck, I mean, being told that you're too short, or your hair doesn't look right, or your teeth are too crooked. I mean, that's brutal, So to make sure you're in a good place where you realize, I'm just going in. I kind of liken being an actor to being a professional gambler. You might be great at blackjack. You go to the table, you play your hand, and you might win a few and walk away really good. You might hit huge. You'll never have to work again, or you're just going to keep playing and playing. Maybe lose all your money, but you have to love playing. You have to love acting enough. You have to love the business. It is show business. It's not show friends. Show business enough to want to keep putting yourself through that. So if you're a child actor, make sure you have a good support system and a love for it.
So on your off time, outside of all the show business, what do you do for fun?
I live in Nashville, and I work with musicians because I found my joy is going to see someone much more talented than I am, pour their guts out on stage. Sometimes a smattering of people, and music is it gives me joy. I'm sure it does you guys too. If you go to concerts and there's you're in a bad mood, you turn this on and and it changes your life. So I work with musicians. I put on shows in Nashville, developing projects, for myself and for them.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Do you go to like the Grand Ole Opry or?
I
anything
do
like
go to
that?
the Grand Ole Opry, and it's funny. Well, first off, like most people think Nashville, it's like it's all country music.
Oh yeah.
Which it is. It's a lot of country music. It's founded on country music, but now it's so much more. I mean, like Jack White has set up shop there.
Yeah.
His Third Man Records is there. Justin Timberlake, he's from
Oh.
Memphis. He's set up shop there. There's more. There's so much more than country. So yeah, what was your question?
Do you like the Grand Ole Opry?
Do I like the
Is
Grand
it
Ole Opry?
great?
Yes. And but all that being said, I love going to the Grand Ole Opry. And I tell everyone, like, even if you don't like country music, you got to go to the Opry because it's a great show. It's like a tight 2-hour show. It's always packed. The performances are great. It's family friendly, and it's a great experience. I love it.
Well, I love the fact that you're so involved in music at the same time because I know for Colorado Anime Fest, they're focusing a lot on helping individuals with mental illness, and music is a great equalizer when it
Absolutely.
comes to that.
Totally.
I guess what other hobbies do you enjoy on your free time, or your copious amounts of free time?
I go to movies. I've gotten into making onesies.
Making onesies.
Yes, my best friend who's here with me, who I worked 2 doors down from on Universal Studios, he bought me one for my birthday. I'll show you a picture, and I'll show it up to the camera so y'all can see it too. And I loved it so much, and I kind of dabble in sewing because I'm like 5'0", so it's hard to find clothes that fit me. You don't have to worry about that, do you?
That's terrible. Thanks.
Well, everything's made for you. There's nothing made for. I have to go to like Target kids section, okay? So I have to like adapt. So I sew a little bit to like adapt clothes to me. So he gave me this.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna go up to the camera and show you. This is the onesie that my best friend Alex got for me. See it right there? Bam. And it might take too long to like try to find the ones that I made, but I've been making onesies. I made a pattern from this, and I just go and get fabric, and now people are like, oh, make me one. I made one for my nieces for Christmas. So that's kind of a fun hobby.
I've noticed that onesies are becoming popular now for adults, which always surprised me.
Do you have one?
No, I actually
Do you?
want one.
No,
They make
but
in all shapes and
I have
sizes.
a pair of students in 4th grade. They each dress up as the same Pokemon character. They have the same onesie.
Yes.
So they try to play as twins, even though they're not even related
Really?
at all.
Do they wear them to school?
Yes.
That's outstanding. You're their teacher.
Substitute teacher.
Substitute teacher. I love that they let them wear it at the school.
Well, it's all about freedom of expression.
Not every school is like that. Some expressions are like, no, keep that expression at home. So I think I love
Yeah,
that.
this school really lets people try to be themselves.
Oh, that's awesome.
As long as it's not something that's like too overboard
Sure.
or something that would disrupt classroom.
Nice.
So, what was an experience with all the roles you've done? Something that was very positive that you have fully had memorized in your moment, like in your mind for like, wow, that day of working was such a great time.
When I booked the Goofy movie, there's a lot of great memories because I was a Disney nut when I was a kid, and then then booking that job, and it's like, wow, I'm playing Goofy's son. I mean, I'm like solidified in like Disney lore from here on in. You have no idea. You work on something, again, like gambling. You have no idea how people are going to receive it, how popular it's going to be, and but I was always a fan of Bill Farmer, who's the voice of Goofy. Getting to work with him one-on-one. It was my first like animated feature, so working that process, and we recorded off and on for like over 2 years. But man, I met like Pauly Shore, Wallace Shawn, Joanne Worley. I mean, so many great actors that participated in that. And people always ask me like, what's my favorite line from the movie? And it's never like one of mine. It's never like one of Max's lines. My favorite line is when Goofy. This is one of Goofy's. So when we're going over the waterfall, and remember that? Mm-hmm. And he just goes, "Oh, waterfall! Oh, waterfall!" I love that. It's a great comic take. Look at that, it's a waterfall. Oh, a waterfall. Waterfall! Classic double take.
I just love Goofy.
Try it.
I don't know. I don't know if I could even give it waterfall. Waterfall?
But it's it's got to have like terror because it's a waterfall.
Yeah. I don't think.
Waterfall. Waterfall.
Yes.
Yeah, you just.
Let's avoid that waterfall. Not bad. How about your yucks?
Oh God.
Yup. How about that?
Yup.
Oh, that she kind of did it backwards, but it still worked.
I can't do
Yuck,
that.
you're gonna try? Come on!
Come
Yuck.
on!
Yuck!
Yuck! Hey! Awesome. Next year we'll work on the huh part and then we'll put it together.
Yeah, we're Disney children. We should be there.
Yes,
I'm a Gargoyles Disney children, not
Gargoyles. I dig it, yes.
So, a random obscure question that I'm stealing from him because he's so excited about it. You were in an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yes, that's right.
And he's
Yeah,
a huge
good,
fan
man.
of Tales from the
Same,
Crypt.
same, yeah.
And when he heard that you were coming here, he was like, "Oh my God, I need to ask. What was it like being as a kid on a horror, like a true horror show?"
Let me tell you, it was awesome because I was a fan of that show. Okay, and I remember it was one of those grueling audition things because it was all guys and they just mixed and matched and paired us up, and I wanted it so bad. It was a great experience. In that episode, for those who haven't seen it, one of the other guys that's cast is Jonathan Kwan, who played Data in Goonies and Short Round and Temple of Doom. So I was like geeking out over him, annoying him with all my Goonies questions, and actually I was the only actual 15-year-old in that show. Like Jonathan was in his 20s. The heavier guy, he was in his 30s. Aaron Eisenberg was older than all of us.
And then you had John Glover.
And we had John Glover, who was the adversary, yeah.
I think it's fascinating that you've had the opportunity to play so many diverse roles and
I'm
so many
fortunate, yeah.
popular shows. Like I definitely watched Step by Step, Full
All right,
House.
sure.
Now that you mentioned you were DJ's boyfriend, I definitely remember it.
Sure.
What has it been like playing a lot of the more modern cartoons now, where you have DuckTales, Big Revival? Has that having transitioned for so many years, has your way of voice acting transitioned based on the cultural changes for cartoons?
That's a very interesting question. I can only comment that, as a human being, as an actor, as I've grown into an adult, I mean, I could say that my craft has changed. I mean, as an actor, we are hired to adapt to whatever the environment is, whatever the story is, no matter what genre. I can say that I've grown as an actor just through life experience. Getting married, having a child, experiencing death, experiencing love, traveling the world. That's the sort of stuff that I think benefits any artist, really.
Okay, I think that's a great answer.
Thanks.
Do you have any things that you're looking forward to taking on challenge-wise in the future?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm admittedly a lazy writer, and in this day and age, like I said, it's not show friends, it's show business, and you really want to stick with it. You got to make your own content, And I've always kicked around ideas, but now it's gotten to the point where, if I really want to see this to fruition, I got to do it myself. I can't keep waiting for people to help me. So the challenge of being disciplined and putting yourself on a schedule and making it happen.
I think that's awesome.
Sure.
You have any other questions?
So now you're putting me on the spot.
Yes.
Well, that's
I
your
love
question.
you.
Well, but going back to with you being the child actor and everything from earlier, anything you would like to tell the people, my viewers, about it that would be younger?
Anything about my stuff in the past?
Just in general, any words of wisdom or anything that you've learned that you would like to say don't do or something like that. Well, actually, that sounds terrible. Don't do drugs. There we go. Good PSA.
And knowing is half the battle. The other half is blue lasers and red lasers.
You got it all right here. Kids at home. Look, Uncle Jason here. Make sure you eat your vegetables and try not to rebel too early and try to stay off the devices. Try to be present. I'd say when you're going on a long car ride, some of the best thinking I ever did was looking out the window at the trees and the mountains passing by, and you have plenty of time to get in this thing later. And follow your dreams. Ultimately, follow your dreams. Whatever you think you can do, you can. Believe in yourself. I'm going to sit back over here.
I don't even know how I can show that up or even continue. That was awesome.
Well, I guess, do you have any roles that were from before you were born that you wish you could be in?
Wow, that's a great question. First thing that pops in my head is George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, that's a fun role.
Iconic too.
Iconic too. Before I was born, I don't know, it'd be fun to be in like those old sitcoms. I Love Lucy. I would love to have played Little Ricky and I Love Lucy, but I would have had to have been I would have had to have been their child. So
Yeah.
to do that, I would have had to have been Desi Arnaz Jr. That's a
I don't
great
know.
question.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Is that good? Is that good enough?
Do you have any follow-up questions?
I just think the whole PSA about eating your vegetables was like perfect.
Do you have what social media links do you have that people can find you at?
Yes, I'm on the Twitter and I'm on Instagram. Both are at Jason Marsden, my name. It's written down here. Now your effects guy's like, shit, we don't do that.
I can do that.
You can do that? Okay.
I do all the editing.
Oh,
stuff,
excellent. So right here, on his face, it says at Jason Marsden. But I'm on the Twitter. I find Instagram to be a lot more fun for me. So I would love it if you guys followed me there. It's open and you can message me and I do respond when I can. I also have, if you're interested in the stuff I do in Nashville, I have another handle at Mars Presents. It's also on Instagram and you can kind of see musicians that are friends of mine that I highlight. You can see the projects that I do in Nashville. I do a lot of house shows and produce things out there, so I would be proud if you did that as well.
I think that's awesome. And music is important and should never be forgotten, especially in the home of so many great artists in Nashville. So
Correct.
definitely check it out. And just so you know, you sound like your dad when you're like, I'm on the Twitters. I'm just waiting for you to have like a cane walking down, like, I'm on the Twitters, kids.
I feel like a dad when I'm playing Fortnite with my son, and I'm awful at it. And like, you know, and my son's 9, you know, like in life, like you have to, it's your job as a parent to keep your child alive. But in Fortnite, it's a complete opposite. He's like, Dad, you're making too much noise, you're gonna draw attention to us. Here, Dad, drink the jug juice, you need some life. Here, Dad, here, take this weapon. It's like complete, like I'm like, it's awful, it's awful. Kids. When you're playing Fortnite with your parents, you know, try not to humiliate them. Don't make them feel less than. You know, they're doing the best that they can in this new, strange world. So, and eat your vegetables. I'm Jason Marsden, and this is
Cruellica Cane.
and
How'd you know Kami?
and this is not Thackeray Binks. But we thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, this was awesome.
And until next time, bye.
Bye.